Is it 7 o'clock yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey everybody. Hey Neek. I'm gonna give just like literally like 2 or 3 minutes for a few more people to log on. Hi everybody. Hey Naya. Today's topic, I will let y'all know, we're going to be talking about like rules of success. Just a few things that motivate me that I kind of live and die by, to continue to gradually get to where I feel as though I'm destined to be. That I think is very, very helpful. So I'm going to wait, like I said, like maybe 1 more minute and let a few more people log on before we go ahead and start. Okay, I'll start. I know everybody have stuff to do, and we should be starting at 7 o'clock on the dot. The first thing I want to say is thank you, everybody, for always tuning in at 7 o'clock every Wednesday with me. Not only do I help you guys, but you guys help me as well just by sending me messages and emails and asking questions. Some of these questions, I kind of had to dig back into my notes and pretty much think back on, wow, what did I do in this situation when things like, this happened. I just have like 6 or 7 keynotes that I have on, just rules of being successful. The first one, let me start off by saying this. I put a post up earlier, and my post stated that if I ever took a loss, it was a lesson. I truly, truly, truly believe that. Anytime I've ever taken a loss, it has been a very valuable lesson for me because now I know what I did to take that loss and what I need not to do in order for me to not to have another tragedy like that. And people fail to realize that failures are good. When we fail, it's actually a good thing. It's not the end of the world. It's a test for you. It's a test to see, are you strong enough to, get through what you're going through? Are you built for what you're trying to do? If you crumble the first time you fail as being an entrepreneur, then being an entrepreneur is not for you. If you fail and feel like, okay, this is too hard, I can't do this, I don't have enough strength for this, I don't have enough motivation, I don't have a backbone, then maybe you are not built for what you are trying to do. In order to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to fail. And it's not going to be just one time that you fail. It's going to be several times that you fail. When you fail, it's pretty much putting you in a direction of where you need to go. It's seeing if you're strong enough to get back up. It's seeing if you say, okay, I had these people in my corner at this point of time, and I saw that they were not for me, that they were not motivating me, that they were not helping me, that they were not giving me strength, that they were not being cheerleaders for me. Then those are not the type of people that you need to be surrounding yourself with. You need to find like-minded people to be around you, people that clearly want to see you win. I'm comfortable enough to say right now that I now at the point in my life have deleted a lot of people, friends that I thought were friends, family members that I feel as though that I bent over backwards for, but they wouldn't bend over backwards for me. I let those people go. And I'm comfortable enough to say right now that everyone that's on my team wants me to win, because they know when I win, they're going to win as well. And they're going to win because they cheered me on. They helped me get through the rough times. They helped me overcome the fears that I have. They help me achieve where I want it to be. So when I get to the top, they're coming to the top with me. Another thing, when you are getting into a business, the main thing, this is my number one key. The main thing that I make sure of is knowing what my next move is. And you guys may not understand that, and I hope I can explain it right. Knowing my next move has to be the right move. I have an issue with a lot of times like rushing into stuff. Soon as something comes to my mind, I feel as though like I need to just jump on it. I need to hurry up and do this before somebody else is doing it. I'm sorry, you guys. I need to make sure that I can hurry up and accomplish this. When in reality, everything that we do, there is someone else doing the same thing somewhere else. Every business, every service that we provide, there's someone providing the same service. There's also people providing the same service that are actually at a higher pedestal than where we are. And you can't let that discourage you either. I tell my daughter is 17 and she's taken the entrepreneur route just like I did. And I tell her all the time that being an entrepreneur is like running a race. It's like being in a race with 1,000 people. If you continue to say you're running in the race and you feel in your heart that you're going to win and you're giving everything that you possibly have to get through that finish line and realize that you won, that's what's going to motivate you to keep pushing. If you are constantly looking behind you to see who's catching up with you or who's beside you, you're now pulling energy from what you need to do to get in first place. You are now taking energy saying, okay, let me see who's behind me. And a lot of times what we fail to realize is when you're busy looking behind you and you see that others are catching up to you and you see that others are right behind you or right beside you, believe it or not, and if y'all, keep it real, it's a fear. It scares us. It scares us because we think that we are going to win and now somebody's on the side of us. So now we're afraid. That fear is taking energy away from you. That fear is now making you not get through that finish line. So the best piece of advice I can tell you in the race is to look ahead and take every piece of energy that you have and run as hard as you possibly can and as fast as you possibly can. And don't look behind you until you are complete, till you're finished, until you get through that finish line. And I guarantee you, even if you did not come in first place, you now have given it all that you have. So you're not feeling bad anymore. You're not feeling like, wow, who was a tie with me, or who came in first place, who came in second, I came in third. You're not thinking about that anymore because you know within that you've given it all that you possibly have to run this race, and you are going to feel like you won at the end of the day. Another keynote and a motto that I go by in life and definitely in business is I do not believe in luck. I don't believe that people luck up and except for winning the lotto. That's pure luck. Other than that, when it comes to business, I don't feel like people just are so lucky that they start a business and they become successful. People don't keep it real. They're not built to tell you what they went through because they want you to think that they just became this millionaire overnight, and it doesn't work like that. Everyone that is an entrepreneur has to work their ass off, and excuse my language, but that's what they have to do. There are going to be sleepless nights. There are going to be days that you go all day without eating. There are going to be moments that you break down in corners and cry. There are going to be times that you want to give up. There are going to be times that you feel like, why did I get into this? Why did I do this? You cannot allow yourself to, to give up. You have to be brave enough to take on that challenge. You have to be brave enough to say, you know what? I decided to go the entrepreneur route. I no longer want to work for anybody. I no longer want to wait for a check. I no longer want somebody telling me what to do, what time to come in, when to clock out. It's slow, so we don't need you this week. Or it's slow, we don't need you today. Or shorten your check. To where you decided, I can't take that anymore. I'm going to take the entrepreneurship route, and I'm going to figure out what's for me. I'm going to figure out what I enjoy doing. I'm going to figure out what I love doing, and I'm going to do it. You have to be built for this. This is not anything easy. There are plenty of nights that I sit and cry. I even have literally gotten in my car before and just wanted to be alone and just drove around by myself, thinking what can I do to get to where I'm at? Why am I not where I want to be? It's not my time. I still have a lot of growth. I still have a lot of struggle. I still have a lot of failures that I have to encounter before I can get to where I want to be. And I am willing to be patient enough to wait until I get there. I know that it's not an overnight success. I know a few of you who are on Facebook Live and on Instagram Live probably know this about me, but those of you who don't, I do want to share something extremely personal with you that I went through back in the end of 2011, 2012. Before I started being in the beauty industry, my background is education. I had owned a few daycare centers, and I always said, my dream was to have the best daycare center of all times. I have to have the biggest. I want a daycare that holds 300 kids. I want this and I want that and I want this. So I talked my fiance into selling the center that we had that was doing extremely well financially, but I wanted more. I knew that I felt like I'm stuck, there's no growth. I want more. So I sold my daycare for $80,000, and we took the rest of our savings. When I say the rest of our savings, every single bit, a sacrifice. And we put over $100,000 into my dream daycare. And I truly love him for believing in me and wanting to see me win. Well, I went to an area that was not for me. No one in that area wanted to see me win. No one in that area believed in me. And I invested my life, my last, everything that I possibly had in me to make this daycare work. And it lasted less than 6 months. I failed. I failed big time. I lost everything that I had: houses, cars, money. My kids were looking at me like I was crazy. And at that point, I didn't know what to do. I felt like I don't want to be here anymore. What can I do now? What am I going to do now? How am I going to get out of this when I've invested everything I possibly had to make this work? What do I do now? And one night I was just sitting in my office, and I was like, okay, what can I do? I hate childcare now because it's literally took everything from me. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So I was sitting there and I said, I took a lash course, a few months ago, and I started researching and sleepless nights. I would not go to sleep. I said, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. I am going to be one of the best lash artists in the world. I'm going to make sure of that. This will be one thing that I don't fail at. Mind you, I knew nothing about the beauty industry. Nothing. I gave it my all, and I am where I am today because of what I went through. And I'm so thankful that I hit rock bottom, because if I wouldn't have hit rock bottom, I would have never knew my strength. I would have never knew what my capabilities was. I would have never knew that how much growth I had in me, and how much of a warrior I was. I wouldn't have never knew that. So I'm totally grateful for what happened to me and what me and my kids went through, because even them, I don't take anything for granted now. I'm nowhere. I told y'all last week and the week before, from a scale 1 to 10, I feel like career-wise, I'm at a 3. I'm nowhere where, I want to be. So at this point, I know that I have growth, and I do know I'm going to get to that 10 sooner or later. It may take me 5 more years. It may take me 3 more years, but I'm going to get to that 10. So that's my number 2. About, not believing in luck, believing in grinding, putting in hard work to get to where you want to be, and making mistakes is amazing. I'm so grateful for every mistake that I've made and every poor decision that I've made. And if you think about it, not one successful person has not made mistakes. Every successful person, every millionaire, every entrepreneur has made mistakes to get to where they are at. Another thing that I want to tell you guys, there are so many people who take my lash courses, my microblading courses, come to my seminars, and I hear their story and they say, well, I was looking at such and such, and she drives this kind of car, and she has this kind of bag, and she has this kind of house, and her life is pretty dope, and I'm getting into the industry because I want to get to where she's at. You're not going to make it. I'm not being mean. I'm just being real. You are not going to make it trying to live the life that somebody else have grind and worked their ass off to get to where they are. You can't just pop up and say, oh, I want to do this because they do it. Any successful entrepreneur loves what they do. It's their passion. Whether it's people who have invested in oil and they're now millionaires, they have a passion for investments. They know when is a good investment and when is a bad investment. Hairstylists, successful hairstylists, that is their passion. They don't mind being in their own salon and standing on their feet all day long for 10 and 12 hours a day because it's theirs and they love doing it. Lash artists, we don't complain about our back hurting anymore. Any lash artist that I know that loves doing this, that's in this industry because it's their passion, I don't hear them talk about their back. I don't hear them talk about their wrist. I don't hear them talk about how uncomfortable the chairs are anymore. Guess what? Because they are doing something that they choose to do. They are doing something that they're passionate about. And when you are passionate about what you do, the little stuff like your back hurting and your feet hurting, you don't even think about it. To maybe when you're driving home and you're like, damn, my back hurt. But you don't think about it while you are actually doing it. So you have to have a passion for what you do and how you do it. And it won't be as stressful as you going to say, I need a job. I need a job real quick. So I'm going to go work for Walmart. And you're not a people's person. Or I'm going to go be a receptionist at this law firm and you hate answering the phones. I'm going to go work for Quick Trip and you hate cleaning bathrooms. You can't just throw yourself into a situation that you do not like doing. It's not going to work. It's not going to be successful for you. And you cannot get into a business because of how much money you think it's going to make you. You have to get into a business because you're passionate about that business, because you enjoy doing it every day and every night. And you don't mind the grind and the dedication that you have to put in it in order to achieve your dream. We all have dreams. You also have to make sure that you are, being yourself. You have to be yourself. If you are putting on a facade to hang around a certain type of people to fit in, you are not going to be successful, because guess what? You hate your life. You hate portraying to be this person that you're not. You have to learn to be yourself. You have to learn to actually say, this is me. This is who I am. My background was education, and I was in daycare. I thought I loved it until I got into this industry. I'm totally a people's person. I'm totally a motivator. I'm totally a motivational speaker. I love pleasing people. I love beautifying people. I love the way I make people feel when they get out of my chair. I love the fact that when I do my trainings, the success stories that I hear from my students saying, Jay, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Thank you for answering my calls after training. Thank you for guiding me through this. That is what makes me feel good. That's me. That's who I am. So it's going to be easy for me to get to 10 where I want to be, because I'm doing something that I enjoy doing. The next thing that I want to go over is belief. You have to definitely believe in your goals, believe in your dreams, and believe in yourself. If you are surrounding yourself with people that don't believe in you, they need to be cut quick. For those of you that just joined, you have to surround yourself around like-minded people who are negative, that don't want to see you win. They're not going to help you achieve your dreams, and you're going to be so confined on worrying about how they feel and what they think about you that it's going to delay you from getting to your 10. Trust me. I've had to let go a lot of people, friends that I thought was friends, family members that I thought was for me, associates in this industry. This industry is so cutthroat that it's scary. You never know. And I have trust issues. So with me, it's kind of like when I let you in, I must really, really, really feel like you're for me. And there are a lot of times that people come around me and people act like they're on my team so they can gain information from me and then go off on their own. You have to be careful about who you have in your circle. You have to put them to a test. Put them on a probationary period. Don't even tell them. Give they asses literally 90 days. 90 days, you'll know if they're for you or not. You'll see little things that they do where you're like, that was kind of suspect. I don't know if I would have did that to her. If you're getting to feel like that, or him, if you're getting to feel like that, they need to be cut quick, because the ladder that you're trying to climb, they're not doing nothing but pulling you down, because they're intimidated by your success story. They're intimidated by the grind that you have. They're intimidated by the person that you are and the passion that you have for the business that you are in. Life is a lesson, and you have to take it for what it is worth. Beyonce has said months and months ago that I believe, and don't quote me, she came up with naming her album Lemonade because she was thrown so many lemons in life and she made lemonade out of them. I truly believe in that. I truly believe that we will be thrown negative stones all the time, and we have to take them for what they are worth and make a good outcome out of it. You have to say, okay, I was going down this path and a rock came and stopped me. Let me chill out. Let me pause for a minute. Let me see why this rock stopped me. Is it because I was moving too fast? Is it because somebody in my circle don't need to be in my circle? Is it because this is not a good financial decision? Is it because I'm spending too much time on this and everything else is behind? I'm putting everything else on a back burner. You have to realize in life why these rocks and why these lemons are being thrown at you. Because if you don't take the time out to figure out why, those stumbles that you're going over are just setbacks. Trust me, I've learned the hard way. I'm a hard head. I have to, I'm a tester. So I have to see why it was thrown at me and really do research and say, okay, maybe she shouldn't be in my corner, but let me give her the opportunity. Let me see. And that's a problem of mine that I have. Instead of taking life for what it's worth and what is thrown at me and working my way through it and calming down and slowing down and trying to figure out how I can get through it a better way than just jumping over it. Because when you jump over those lemons and you jump over those rocks, they're just going to follow you. They're coming right behind you. You have not solved the problem. You have not figured out why that rock or why that lemon was actually thrown at you. Last but not least, be humble. You have to be humble. You have to never think that you're at a pedestal where people are beneath you. Because you have to keep in mind, not only were you once were there, but there are so many people that's way ahead of you. There are so many people that are doing the same thing that you were doing and are millionaires, and you're a hundredaire or a thousandaire. You have to be humble. You can never think, oh, well, I make $300,000 a year, so I'm good. And, she riding in this car and I ride in this car, so I don't want to be seen with her. Or she lives in an apartment and I live in a house. We're not on the same level. I won't say any names, but there's a person in my industry that always knocks people down. And I laugh all the time. Anytime I go on her snaps or her Instagram or anything, it's such negative energy because she feels as though that she's doing it in this field. She feels as though that nobody is where she is at. Little do she know, she surrounded herself with people that are not like-minded, people that don't have the drive that she has, people that she feels as though will always be beneath her. So she's always going to be able to throw shade at them. But if she was to surround herself with boss people, people that's making major moves, people that are ahead of her, she wouldn't feel like that and she wouldn't be able to do it. But because she is intimidated by people that are more successful than her, she continues to stick around people that she can belittle because that makes her feel powerful. You can be living a certain type of way one day and the next day have nothing. Your house can burn down overnight. You can get into a car wreck to where you are now paralyzed, to where you cannot even perform the services that you once were performing. You can find out that you have cancer. You can find out that you have freaking HIV and AIDS. You can find out that you owe the freaking IRS from years and years and years back, and now they've taken everything out of your bank account and you now can no longer move forward. You have to be humble. If you're not a humble person, trust me, you might as well sit down. You might as well get out of this industry as being an entrepreneur. Humbleness is the key to success. Humbleness is going to get you to the top. Humbleness is going to make people respect you. Humbleness is going to build you a freaking team that's going to be so unforgettable that it's just nobody can touch you because you're being humble. You cannot own a salon and walk in your salon every day and think just because you have people working for you that they are beneath you. No, sweetheart. They are the reason why you have that successful salon. They are the reason why you have clients walking in and out. They are the reason why the damn lights is on. They are the reason why you are able to drive in the car that you are driving in. They are the reason why your bills at home are getting paid. They are your team. They are with you because they think that y'all are going to win together. But you coming in the salon thinking that they're beneath you and not being humble, honey, trust me, they're going to start picking at you. They're going to start saying, this heifer is ungrateful. This heifer do not respect me. This heifer do not understand that I'm making her the money that she is making. honey, all you have to do is go on. Somebody said they wish that they can record this. This is going to be loaded to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Love Lash Inc. INC. So if you missed anything or you feel like you need to go back and touch bases on anything that I've went over, all you have to do is go on the YouTube channel. But back to what I was saying, because I'm true to being humble. I'm true to knowing that without my team, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Without my parents watching my kids when I'm traveling 90% of the time, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Without some of my nieces having my back, that I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Without my children believing in me and saying, Mommy, it's going to be okay. You've got through this. You're going to get through this. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So people have to realize that being humble is the key to success. And without humbleness, you will not succeed. You cannot think that your success, I hate when people become successful and then forget where they came from. You can never forget where you came from and who helped you get to where you are at. You have to realize, wow, how did I get here? You know what? I had a friend of mine that wouldn't take pay from me and said, you know what? I want to see you win. I get off work at 5 o'clock. I can give you an hour every day. You have to realize that you have people in your family and people that are in your corner that really, truly believed in you and wanted. Thank you, Crystal. And you're humble too. You have people that are in your corner that really want to see you win. And when you get to the top, you have to make sure that they win with you. Your team got to come with you. If your team don't come with you, they're going to start being envious of you. And they're going to start feeling like you wouldn't be where you're at if it wasn't for them. And they're going to start feeling like you owe them something. And once a person feel like you owe them, that's when the griminess comes in that. That's when state boards start popping up at your shop when you don't need them to pop up. That's when DFAX is popping up at your house on some BS about allegations that are not even true. That's when you walk outside and your tires are flat. That's when honey, it's so much. You got to be humble. That's all I'm trying to say. You have to be humble. If I can't say anything else to anybody that is thinking about being an entrepreneur or thinking about going in business or partnership with somebody, make sure that they are as humble as you are. Make sure that they have the same vision that you do. Make sure that they are not jealous of you. One thing that I can say about my team, they're not jealous of me at all. You know why? Because when they need me, I'm there for them. Just like when I need them, they're there for me. My team is not jealous of me. My team is not going to do anything. And I trust my team. I trust, and I only have a small team, a very, very small. Don't cry. You're going to make me cry. Don't cry. It's just the truth. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from just stuff that I've been through in life. And any successful person has a team. You can't do it by yourself. You can't be greedy. You cannot say, I don't want them to be on the level I'm on. So they connection. Okay, there it is. You want to make sure that whoever is on your team will have levels that they can climb. If you have people on your team that feel like they're always going to be your worker and they're staying at that $10 an hour and you making $500,000 a year and $1 million and $2 million and $3 million, you can forget about that team, because now there is no team. Now they feel like you're shitting on them. Now they feel like that you don't have their best interest. I have a very small team and I don't want a bigger team. I don't want an entourage. I just want people that I can trust, that are dedicated and loyal to me, that I know that I can give the same dedication and loyalness back to. That's all. I would love to provide massage therapy. I would appreciate that. DM me and I'll love to give you one of our services as well. I would truly appreciate that, and I'm sure they will too. I know a lot of people that are listening right now, I speak to on a daily basis. And I just want to tell you guys, without pointing you out, that y'all have it in you to be a boss, to be successful, to not work for anybody. You just have to, going back to where I started, you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. The same grind and dedication that you are giving to other people, you need to be giving yourself. You need to be bossing up, saying, why am I working 10 hours a day to make them rich when I can be working 10 hours a day to make myself rich? And figuring out what type of goals that you have to plan to make sure that you can get there. I'm not saying rush into nothing. I'm just saying, if you believe that you should be an entrepreneur and you are tired of working for people, then you need to figure out what your passion is and figure out how you can, somebody that's on here, I have to say it. I won't say who she is, but I've known her for since she was younger, little, and I've been involved in her life in, I say, maybe the last 2.5, 3 years. And when her and I started talking, she was working for somebody, sick and tired of working for them, complaining to me every day about how she hated it and they don't appreciate her and her check was shorted and this and this and this and that. And I feel like I encouraged her to step out on faith. And even when she was around me, I knew that she didn't need to work for me. She didn't need to be in my shop paying booth rent. She needed to be at her own shop charging other people booth rent. I knew when you are trying to find your place, thank you Shelly. When you are trying to find your place as an entrepreneur and find your place in life, you have to test out the water. You're going to have to see, does this situation work for me? Does this situation work for me? Does this situation work for me? When you get to the point where all of those situations are not working, it's not going to work. You are not destined to work for people. You are not destined to sit behind somebody's desk. You are not destined to punch a clock. You are destined to be a boss. Now all you have to do is figure out, what do I need to do to become a boss? What is it that I love to do? Let me sit down every night and figure out the steps that I need to take to start this path, and who believes in me, and what type of team can I build that's going to help me achieve what I want to achieve. That's all you have to do. You have to step out on faith. You cannot be a punk. No punks allowed in the entrepreneur industry. Call you out. I wasn't calling you out. I didn't even say your name, but I knew from the beginning that you was bound to be a boss. And every conversation that we have, all I could do is smile, like, damn, just a few years ago, she was scared. She was afraid. She thought she needed a partner. She thought she needed to work for somebody. She thought she needed to do this. She thought she needed to do that, when all along, all you needed to do was believe in yourself, baby girl. And I've always told you that. I've always told you, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You have to. Like, you're unstoppable. The vision that you had and the mindset that you had was too sick. It was crazy. Like, you was destined to be a boss. And I congratulate you, and I'm so proud of you. And for those of you who are watching, I'm talking to Eyelash ATL. Her name is Brittany. Brittany, I'm super duper proud of you. When I saw that you were training, all I could do was smile. Like, I knew it. And it's going to be so much more for you. I promise you, because you are trying to do everything right to make a successful business. You're not trying to cut corners and screw people over. You are really trying to gain respect in the industry, and you are trying to really train people and teach them the ropes to it and the ins and outs and not hold anything back. Because, and a lot of you who are watching, let me tell you something too. If you are an educator and you're watching, or you are a supervisor somewhere, or you are a manager somewhere, or just the owner of a salon, and you're afraid to tell people things that's going to help them grow, that means you are a very envious person and you will not get far. You cannot hold back information that you feel as though is going to set somebody else free to becoming what they need to become, because it's not going to work for you. If you know that you have a strong person that is destined to be an entrepreneur, they're not going to be there for long. All they're going to do is quit and go somewhere else. Why not give them the advice that you know you can give them and watch them grow, and y'all win together and y'all eat together? Why? There's too much money in this industry, guys, for us to be like that. There's too much money in this industry for us to feel like, somebody is neck and neck with us. There is too much money for that. Think about how many hairstylists it is. Think about how many lash artists it is. Think about how many microblading artists it is. Think about how many car dealerships it is. Do you think Carl Black is thinking about Ed Voiles? Do you think Land Rover is thinking about Chevy dealership? Hell no. Do you think Quick Trip is thinking about BP? Do you think Bloomingdale's is thinking about Macy's? Do you think they're not? They are not thinking about where they're getting, because they know their passion. They know what they have in store. They know the ideas that they have is going to be something that nobody can't touch. And we all have to understand that we have to stay in our lane. We have to know that what's for us is for us. What's for you is for you. What's for me is for me. What's for me is for me. And I'm going to make sure that me is straight. What's for you is for you, and you have to make sure that you are straight. You cannot worry about what other people are doing and what other people have and why they didn't help you. They didn't help you because they don't want to see you win. They didn't help you because they don't want to see you grow. They didn't help you because they were envious of what you could do in this industry. Those are the people that you need to X out quick. I've went from having a group of people around me to my team, and I only rock with my team and my students. My students have became some of my best friends. My students have became people that I can call in the middle of the night and say, look, I'm going through something. I need to vent. Well, I know that they're not going to take that information and run off with it or try to, betray me in some type of way. Because guess what? I rock with them and they rock with me. This segment today of Love Notes just have been just too real. And I know that it's sounding like I'm preaching to y'all, but I'm just going based off experience. I'm going based off what I've been through in life and the stones and the rocks that have been thrown at me, that I've figured out what I need to do to not jump over these rocks, but what I need to do to go through the rocks. And the rock is unbreakable. But if you figure out how to get through that rock, you've now broke it. And that's what we have to realize as being entrepreneurs. And those of you who, have joined and missed a lot of it. This segment was just about, rules of success and what you have to do in order to be successful. And any of you who missed the beginning of it, please, y'all, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Love Lash Inc. and that's INC. You're on my car Bluetooth, and my son asked, who is she talking to? And I said, me. Tell him that his mama is destined to be great. And every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, his mom is going to tune in, because any issue that she is having, we're going to figure it out. And guys, if there's ever anything or any questions that I cannot answer for you, I promise I will find somebody that can relate to your situation or give you the advice that you need. I promise you that. A lot of people have been asking about for financial advisors and how to save and how to do this. And hey, my sister just joined. I call my sister and my brother-in-law all the time. They are my financial advisors. They keep me on track. They make sure that I am not spending too much money and not taking stupid trips and not buying dumb stuff and investing back in my business. And I help them out business wise just as well as they help me out. When they need advice, I love you too, T. When they need advice, I'm there for them. And when I need advice, they're there for me. And you need to put yourself around like-minded people that are not intimidated by you, that want to see you win, that when you call them with a drastic financial question, that they're not going to shoot you to shit and tell you anything, that they're going to be real with you and say, no, I don't think you can do this, or I don't think you should do it, or I think you should wait, or girl, go for it. You got it. What you need, I got you. You need another $1,000, you need another $5,000, I got you. I know you good for it. Those are the type of people that you need to be around. And we have to we have to realize in this industry, no matter what you are doing, no matter if you're a daycare owner, a salon owner, if you own a detail shop, if you clean windows, whatever you do, whatever it is that you do, that you are an entrepreneur, you have to realize that there's levels to this. Levels. There's not just I want to do this and then you're doing it. There's levels to it. And the levels that we have to climb to get to that 10 is drastic. It's scary. It's challenging. It's hard. It's dreadful. It's so many things, but you have to get through it. Those of you that just joined, I'm done. I know I keep going on and on and on, but please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube is Love Lash Inc. INC. If you missed any of this, or you feel like you need to hear it again, if it's motivating you, please go, log on to YouTube tonight when you're by yourself. And if you need to cry. Crying is good. Crying helps. I cry all the time. I'm the biggest crybaby that there is. I cry at least 3 times a week. Sometimes it's cry of happiness, and sometimes it's a cry for, I feel like I'm failing, or I feel like this is so hard, or I feel like I need more, or I feel like I need more help. We all are gonna feel like that with being entrepreneurs. That's just what we have to go through. So continue sending me the email so we can have these type of conversations, and continue tuning in every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Like I told you guys last week and the week before, I don't care if I'm in my car. I don't care if I'm at work. I don't care if I have a client. I don't care if I'm getting my hair done. I don't care if I'm in the airport. I don't care if I'm on somebody's beach. At 7 o'clock on Wednesday, Love Notes is what's happening. And I promise you that, because I know that this helps a lot of people. I need a drink too. Where we meeting at? Just know that this is going to help you really, really, really get to where you need to be. And I'm a very positive person, and all I want to do is see everybody win, because there's too much money out here. It's too much money out here that we're not getting. It's too much money out here that we are afraid to get, that we're destined. It's ours. Like your name is on it. You have to know that your name is on it and know what you have to do to claim it. So I have the opportunity to get my own building. What type of documents, license, etc. do I need? Text me. I'll let you know. Text me or email me, and I'll, we'll definitely chop it up and go over everything. Continue to send the emails. I thank all of you for tuning in. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you. Bye-bye.